Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am back with another video. The Utah Jazz beat the Clippers in Game 7, and when I was watching the game last night, it was the tale of the Clippers' missed opportunities throughout that particular series. When they had the lead in the series, they never capitalized on that lead. And you can tell that the Clippers were mentally drained and they're just playing through the motions in that final Game 7. And the Clippers felt like they wasn't going to be able to capitalize and ultimately take or steal Game 7 away from the Utah Jazz. But that is pretty much in a nutshell the story of the LA Clippers. Missed opportunities to capitalize to make the team ultimately better. Now, during the offseason, before the season even began, they had an opportunity to get Joe Johnson, and Joe Johnson ultimately signed with the Utah Jazz. Why? Because the Utah Jazz was the only team in the NBA that was willing to pay Joe Johnson a pretty good salary. Everybody was trying to lowball him because he's pretty much past his prime, but a player like that, you have to realize how you can utilize that player, and that player can ultimately make your team a little bit better. The Clippers missed that opportunity. The second thing, and the second missed opportunity that the Clippers did this season was midway through when they had the opportunity to trade for Carmelo Anthony, and they didn't have to necessarily give away as much, all right? They would have to give away JJ Redick and Doc Rivers' son and so a few draft picks in exchange for Carmelo Anthony, and that deal was a safe deal for the Clippers to go ahead and pursue. But Doc Rivers had an issue for the Clippers to take his son to the Knicks. He felt like his son would have never seasoned right, developed right in the Knicks organization. One can assume that, but you have to look at it as a business way of how we're going to make this team better. And with Carmelo Anthony with the LA Lakers, you wouldn't have to give away your big three. You could still keep your big three. All right. To me, I felt like when Blake Griffin was injured during pretty much most of the NBA season, or whenever he gets on the bench, I felt like, to me, the Clippers flowed a lot better when Blake Griffin wasn't on the court. Because when you think about it, Blake Griffin and Jordan are pretty much similar when you're talking about play style, all right? Blake Griffin really doesn't move the needle past the dunking lines. He's pretty much streaky as a jumper. He's really streaky, and his skill is non-existent on the three-point level. It would be different if he was that versatile, but he simply is not. And to me, when you put Jordan as well as Blake Griffin on the court together, it slowed the ball movement. The ball wasn't passing around fluidly as it once did when you didn't have Blake Griffin necessarily on the court, all right? So when you look at management, the organization of the LA Clippers, they missed a lot of golden opportunities to make this team significantly better, all right? I kind of was disappointed that Paul Pierce, the truth, he didn't get an opportunity to go deeper in the playoffs. This was pretty much his swan song. This is the end of the road for Paul Pierce. He is not going to pursue another year in the NBA. He's officially retired, and it's not a good look for the LA Clippers. I think a lot of people forgot, like 3 years ago when Paul Pierce was with the Wizards, he had an issue with the Wizards because he felt like the Wizards wasn't ready. They wasn't ready at that particular time to take it to the next level. And now the Wizards are moving on to the second round, and the Clippers, a first round exit. They always have first round exits, and ultimately, I feel like you don't have to blow up this team necessarily. You don't have to get rid of everybody and start anew. To me, Chris Paul is going to re-sign with the Clippers. Why? Because the Clippers are the only organization that's going to pay Chris Paul a significant amount of change. All right. When you look at the other teams, I know a lot of people are talking about and speculating that Chris Paul may wind up with the Spurs. I really don't see that. The Spurs do not have enough money for Chris Paul, whereas with the Clippers, they do. And Chris Paul enjoys living in La La Land. Let's just face it and accept reality, all right? Now, as far as Blake Griffin go, I think it'd be the best interest for the Clippers as well as Blake Griffin for Blake Griffin to take his talents elsewhere. Oklahoma City, that's a homecoming for him. I think he will be very appreciated with Oklahoma City because now he can pair up with somebody like Westbrook that he don't necessarily have to worry about making his talent fit with the style, well, with the system. It's more or less of we're going to be successful with Westbrook, and Westbrook is going to make us significantly better, all right? But I have a gut feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion that the Lakers are going to try to keep not only Chris Paul, but Blake Griffin and try to go at this one more time and add pieces around. Now, JJ Redick, I believe he's a free agent. I think JJ Redick is gone. He pretty much has said this on social media. This is his last year with the Clippers. I mean, you can't help it, and you can't feel sorry for him or be mad at him. Ever since he joined the LA Clippers, he's always been surrounded in trade rumors. All right, so he really didn't feel like the Clippers really wanted him. It felt like the Clippers was okay with him being with the team, but they had no problem and no issue putting his name in the rumor mills. All right. So I think JJ Redick is pretty much gone. Chris Paul is going to stay because ultimately the Clippers are going to be the only team that's going to sign him the most. And he loves the atmosphere of Los Angeles. Blake Griffin, I'm kind of leaning towards him. If he does the right thing, the best thing for him is to simply just take his talents elsewhere. I feel like Oklahoma City is a perfect fit. That's sort of pretty much a homecoming for him. But like Blake Griffin also enjoys the LA lifestyle. He also has other aspects outside of basketball that he's interested in, like being a comedian. And the only way you're going to get your comedian gig on and popping is if you stay in the LA market. So I'm thinking Blake Griffin is going to make the best decision that's going to make Blake Griffin better in the other aspects besides of basketball. He's not going to make a basketball decision. He's going to make a Blake Griffin, I'm trying to do other things in the LA market decision. All right, not a basketball decision, but if he has an agent, I forgot who his agent represents Blake Griffin, and he's also signed with Team Jordan. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan is whispering in his ear that, you know, you'll have a better situation with Oklahoma City pairing up with Westbrook. Westbrook is also signed to Michael Jordan's Jordan brand. So I think Jordan is going to have some influence in what direction Blake Griffin is going. But guys, tell me what you think out there. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am it.